And you mentioned timing, and I've been finding that I think on the customer end, as a customer, there are certain items that I buy and don't use, especially big ticket items like I'll just say a slow cooker, for example. Like a slow cooker is something that you use once in a very long time, if you don't do a lot of slow cooking, right? So something like that is you mentioned the timing, right? So is the issue of timing a thing in terms of when a review is still really valid, number one? And second, when you think about the timing of reviews with some items, they say they offer a 10-year warranty. I've just realized, for instance, with a microwave that I've got, it's got 10-year warranty on the thing, but 3 years in, I'm trying to claim something against that warranty, and they say no, it's a warranty on some app that you use on the microwave, not the microwave itself. How does this timing thing work with various items? And is it sometimes unfair that brands expect a review in 5 days for a slow cooker that I use once in 6 months?
Mhm.
Anyone can
Go.
answer.
Yeah.
Start with you,
Yeah. I
Julia.
mean, yeah, I think absolutely that's it. Is you have to understand what is the, customer journey with your product. When are consumers using it? How often are they using it? I think the sweet spot for, reviews is after a consumer has had an opportunity to, utilize the product or service a couple of times, integrate it into their, routines. And then I think for certain products with long warranties, appliance like things, there should be a, kind of a lengthy period for reviews. I know, thinking about not products but services. I mean, you can go back and amend a Google review or a TripAdvisor review, a review for a service-based experience after the fact. So yeah, I think that's, it's important to think about what is the life cycle, what is the customer journey, and to, allow consumers to have review options that are an appropriate fit for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think also one of the things that pops into my head, not directly what you asked, Mbezi, but
Yeah.
for me, what I really think about when I think about you and your warranty and all of these things is that, and we mentioned it a few years ago in the report about how, the power balance has shifted. So in the early days of our, reporting, you could tell your friends and family, and that's got that narrow little impact. If you've got a good Facebook following, you could complain or praise someone on your Facebook. And I think what's happened is that whole opportunity and the risk, the power balance between the consumer and all businesses, quite frankly, has changed. And sometimes it goes to the negative. If you think about a sort of negative, tweet or X or whatever we now call it, how it can have a knock-on effect, a really bad and maybe potentially unfair knock-on effect. But I think what it shows is that in your example of the, of your warranty,
Yeah.
what I believe businesses should see this is an opportunity to turn that around. So to say, you know what, here's a guy, he's got a bit of a following, but even if he didn't, let's delight him. Let's say, the warranty, strictly speaking, is not valid for this reason. However, we are going to do X. And the X can be, making an exception, sucking up a thing to repair it, whatever it is, maybe giving you a discount off the next one, whatever the thing is. But I think that because the power balance has changed, businesses and brands must be very awake to not using because Shakara, you made the point about it's the whole, it's the whole journey. So people have said to us that they go on to Hello Peter and pick an insurance business based on whether or not, what percentage, how quickly they respond, and whether or not their reviews are good. So if you're going to go onto Hello Peter, or what, I don't know the client's name, to go and review as part of your decision to purchase, they'd be really stupid to let a warranty, come in the way of that. And that's where I think that this, reviews are very exposing to businesses.
Yeah.
But they can turn that on their head. And I mean, remember back in the day, Richard Branson used to always say, he used to take the opportunity of a failed experience to delight. And so that's where these brands should say, you know what, let's get an advocate. Mongezi, he's got a big audience, and I would rather have him on my side than not. And that's just another way of looking at the whole.
I think it's an interesting one also, just touching on Amanda and Julia's points, from a timing perspective as well. So if you think about, customers are going through the customer journey. And then you have on your product side, there's a product life cycle, and the two kind of need to come together. When you have your first purchase, I'm just sort of touching on retention strategy now from a timing perspective. So Mongezi, in your example of a slow cooker, if you've purchased a slow cooker, it's in my best interest to touch base with you and make sure you're engaged and the product is delivering. And I also want to potentially upsell and cross-sell you to other appliances, right? So I think, when you drive your upsell and cross-sell strategy, it is probably worth touching base on how's it going with the previous purchase, and sort of bring those together.